that's not in this facility. So we're taken away from public safety again, which I don't think we need to be doing at this point. You know, I listened to Mr. Hitchler, and I think we're probably in a similar place. Neither of us necessarily want it there. Am I tired of fighting about it and talking about it? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, and maybe that's part of what's feeding into the decision. Maybe so. I'm trying to think it's not. I'm trying to be logical. But that certainly could be part of it. But I do think that it can be done in a way that saves the Flythe properties. In fact, I not only say that, that's the only way I approve it. This is to rezone it. I mean, obviously, this is paving the inevitable path for the public safety station to go there. I mean, we all know that. But, I mean, this is to rezone it. There's still a process to go through from here to there to design it, to do all of those things that we have to do. And I think we can do it in a way that respects the properties around them. Is it going to forever change it? To a degree, yes. Does it have to be? Is it going to change it in maybe some positive and maybe some negative ways? I think there are some ways that we can do so to make it as positive as that sort of a facility can be. Jim has put together a list of where it can comply with the overlay. I think there were 26 or some odd areas in which it could comply with the overlay. There are a number of places where it just can't. You know, as Eric pointed out before, Seven Gables wouldn't comply with the square footage. I think Mr. Hitchler said before, most of the houses in that neighborhood right now would not comply with the 3,000 square foot limitations on the overlay district. So there are going to be some things that a public service facility cannot do to comply with all of the overlay codes. But I do think we have to hold each other accountable, hold administration accountable, you know, however you want to say it, to ensure that we are complying with those that can be complied with. I agree. The rendering that we received is a step in the right direction, but it needs some work. And I would push to continue to do that. I think the neighbors, as I feel like we did a much better job, it wasn't perfect still, but a much better job in involving the neighbors on the fire station. The neighbors have to be, this is a bigger facility and a much more prominent location. The neighbors have to be given a real active role in being involved in the design and in all the facets that go along with this. I think that's something that we have to make sure we do as part of it. And again, the cottage and the stable house, whether we're working an agreement with Historic North Augusta or some other function, that has to be saved, and as much buffer between that space and the other adjoining areas has to be kept. And if we can do that, you know, there unfortunately for those on opposite sides of this, there's really no win-win situation, and I always want to try to find a win-win situation, and I don't know with where we are, with the options we have, where we are, what we've gone through to get here, that there's a win-win situation, because either public safety is going to get the can kicked down the road and have to